Good morning, baby. How are you doing today, August? How is my baby? Hello. Hello. Look at you. You're so cute. Sit. Can I go outside? Come on. Let's go outside. Hey, darling. Oh. Out for a walk here with my pet, Darwin. He's 10 weeks now. I guess he's still at that point when you count weeks and not months. I often look at him and I think about like what a little weird life form he is, how he's processing data, how he's building up his world, how he's looking all around. Ever since he was born, he has been looking around like crazy, always like with the eyes looking at, you know, at the light and looking around everywhere. Of course, all parents probably think that their babies are the cutest thing, but I know that my baby is the cutest. During these weeks, he has changed dramatically from being this little tiny thing where his head was so small, and you know, you hold him and he's just so small, to now feeling like an actual baby in a different sense and not just feeling like a newborn. Lately, he has been starting to smile a lot more. Like maybe in the last 2 weeks, he started to smile a lot more. I mean, he was smiling a little bit before then, but now every time you kind of tickle him or interact with him, he kind of smiles at you. And of course, that is a lot more fun. I am really looking forward to him actually getting older, where you can, you know, teach things and be like, see how his brain shifts a lot more. I think that's going to be really interesting. I've been trying to be very effective in the way I organize my time. Like for example, it's a lot easier for me to do work where I'm sitting in front of the computer, because then I can kind of have him with me, either like carrying him or, you know, just kind of having him in my arms, and that's a lot easier. The challenging thing is actually getting time away from him, so being out in the shop and doing things. And that's where I either have Matt take him, or my mother-in-law comes and takes him for a little while, or I time it when he's sleeping, which is a little bit trickier. But you know, just trying to figure those kinds of things out. And I think that will become easier as well as he gets a little bit older and a little bit more scheduled in terms of naps and things like that. Darwin, come here. Okay, so in the makerspace here, we did some developing last night. It's kind of a mess everywhere. Let's go out to the shop and see what's going on out there. So I just came back from the walk and he's kind of sleeping. I kind of like to keep him in here as long as possible, because then he's nice and happy before removing him from here. Ciao. There's hanging here. So lately I've been kind of working on a couple of leather project ideas. Here is the most recent one. Actually, Matt was working on this last night and cut up the material for this. And this is a haversack. It's actually a small haversack designed for August when he gets a little bit older. So when he's like 4, 5, 6. And the idea for this bag is, okay, so like, remember when you're a kid and you go out on the beach or in the woods and you kind of collect things. Like, I remember collecting a lot of shells and like nice rocks that I found and things like that. So it's kind of like a rugged bag that doesn't have like too much padding or support, where you just kind of throw things into it. And I'm kind of picturing, I would like to make this small one, but I also would like to make a big one for myself. So you can go out in the woods and collect sticks or something, and then go home and like carve a spoon in front of the fire, that kind of thing. So I saw Owl Creek Handmade on Instagram put a photo up, or could have been a video a while back, of a haversack bag that they made, and I really liked their take on it. It was really simple and really nice looking. So I wanted to make something in the vein of that. So I'll link the Owl Creek Handmade's information in the description, their YouTube and their Instagram. I also really like the idea of making something for him now, because even though, you know, he won't be able to use it right now, it's kind of a nice idea to start creating things over time, because who knows what will be going on in the future, and if you can do this now, that's really cool. So this is the basic design for this. So I think that's kind of a nice design for a kid, and then you just open it up and throw things into it, and it's gonna have like a strap around it as well. This is a bag. It's kind of looking more like a purse really, because this one was turned, like sewed and turned inside out. and then it's gonna have a flap on it, so a closure on it. This was like a test, and I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do with this, but now I think I might actually turn it into like a small bag for myself to do when I go out, to just kind of keep my wallet and my writing book in, that kind of idea. Also, a lot of people usually ask me where I get my leather, and this is all from Tandy Leather, and I'll link the information in the description as well. You waking up, baby? You're noticing I'm filming, don't you? Yeah. If you think that he looks particularly handsome today, it's because he's wearing these adorable pants, which Abby from Infusion sent. Thanks, Abby. They are just adorable, and they're cashmere, so fancy. Yes. I'll put a link to her shop in the description below as well. If I think about what the experience has been like so far though with having him, I would say that it's been a lot more fun than I thought it would be, having a kid. I mean, of course it's like annoying sometimes, and he cries sometimes and all of that, but he's not horrible. I mean, a lot of babies cry a lot more than he does. He's not colicky in any way. But I think one thing I didn't quite realize before having him was just how much fun it is to kind of see the developing and just interacting with him and all of that. It's just like a lot of fun. What are you looking at? You are staring right into that camera, aren't you? I was just looking at some older pictures of him from when he was just born, and I remember thinking then that he was, you know, so adorable. And now I look at him and I think he was all scrunched up. Prosit! Bless you! And how his face looked so different and his behavior was so different. And I realize I'm gonna look back at this period later on and think that, oh, when he was 10 weeks old, you know, he was so undeveloped, or he was, you know, he behaved so differently from the way he does now. But it's interesting how fast the changes really happen. You know, like at 10 weeks now, there's been so many, like he has changed so much. Like in the beginning, his eyes were so much more like erratic, kind of constantly looking around, much more like that. And now he's much smoother, and he follows things with his eyes, and he smiles at you. And he's also much happier sitting by himself a little bit. You know, if you put him down, he can kind of just lay down and be satisfied being by himself for a couple of minutes, which is nice, because that was not the case before. Darwin is being wonderful with him so far. He's being so gentle, and his favorite thing to do is to lick his feet or his hands. That's his favorite thing to do, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to kind of do a bit of a life update, let you guys know how things have been going, show August off a little bit, and yeah, just kind of touch base a little bit. But I hope you guys are doing well, and I'll see you soon. Bye!